For the last few years, 16-Bit Store has been humming to the tune of the electric movement of a 3D printer. And it's thanks to our 3D printers that we can go from spools of plastic to our finished products. But in between turning on these machines to dropping off an order to a post office, there's a lot of behind the scenes work which goes into each item sold. So join me today as I show you how we make our more popular items for 16-Bit Store. When we receive an order at 16-Bit Store, its journey starts here at our 3D printer table. The first step for our 3D printer operator is to check to see if the correct color of filament is loaded into one of our 3D printers. If it isn't, the color that's currently loaded will be unloaded and the correct one will be loaded in. Once the printer has been cleaned, it's ready to start printing. All of our 3D printers have pre-loaded profiles for each item, including special profiles to allow for batch prints for long overnight prints. The operator always babysits the first layers to make sure that there are no major issues which can cause the print to fail later down the line or potentially cause defects in the finished parts. Defects typically occur due to a dirty bed or bad bed leveling. But a quick wipe with isopropyl alcohol or acetone, and the operator is ready to try again. Once the first layer of a print has started, the operator can leave the printers alone, as it can take anywhere from 1 to 8 hours for individual parts or components to be printed. Once a part is printed, we keep track of the individual components by placing them in our order baskets. After all the order parts are completed, it's then time to process the order. For styluses and display stands, they just require basic cleanup and removal of stringing or support materials, and heat treating to reflow the top layer for any discoloration. For our kits, it takes a little bit more than just basic cleaning. We will need to hammer in nuts and do a test fit for screws to ensure that the parts are printed correctly and that there are no defects or components that break during initial assembly. To assist us in keeping larger orders in check, we've added embossed icons and text to keep track of which kit legs and connecting bars belong to each other. But not all kits are assembled the same. For instance, the Virtual Boy tripod kit has a lot more components and is a lot more finicky to assemble. First, a 1/4-inch nut is added to the tripod adapter plate. This allows it to be adapted to most 1/4-inch tripod mounts. Then, in the Virtual Boy mount, a screw is threaded into the center of the unit with a spacer placed behind it. A nut is then hammered in to hold all the pieces together. Then 2 more nuts are hammered in to allow the tripod adapter to mount and screw into the Virtual Boy adapter. Next, a rubber band is threaded into the printed channels and is carefully twisted into the correct position. Once the band has been loosely threaded in and has equal attention to the top and the bottom pieces, we take a thin piece of metal and push the rubber deeper into the channel so that it's held better in place. Once the rubber band is securely in place, we finish off the kits by test fitting both the bottom, back, and front pieces together, completely assembling it for the first time to ensure no defects. Lastly, the Virtual Boy tripod kit is partially disassembled before it's ready to ship, with an extra rubber band being added in as a spare in case the original breaks. Once all the orders are printed, processed, and ready to be shipped, we print out the shipping labels for the orders and get ready to package everything. For uniform items like the stands and styluses, They can just be placed into a reusable plastic bag with a recycled piece of cardboard to give some structure during shipment, and placed into the correct envelopes and are ready to be shipped. Kit orders need to be disassembled to protect them during shipping. Once an order has been broken down into their individual components, and the screws are placed into their protective holds, they are fitted into reusable plastic bags and sandwiched in between recycled components to preventing the individual parts from moving around too much during transit, or preventing them to stack on top of each other. When all the items in an order are bagged, they are placed into the correct envelope and are ready to be shipped. Once all the orders have been packaged together and ready to be shipped out, all that's left to do is for someone to take them to the local post office to get shipped out and eventually delivered to your door. I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes look for how we make our more popular items for the 16-bit store. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. I hope you have yourself a good day, and as always, take care.